Scuba the folk. Scuba the people. Let's talk about national standards. Let's talk about what it means to be a national. Do you know what it means to be a national of a government? It means you're a part of the government. It means you're party to whatever's going on. A lot of people out there saying that they're part of they're nationals, and at the same time, they want to be by themselves. And it's okay to be one or the other, but you can't be both. Right? Remember, um, the whole concept of nationalizing means that the private citizen is taking their private property and they are pledging it to the government so that everyone may be able to utilize and benefit. We got people out there, they don't want to do that. And again, that's fine if you don't wish to contribute to the whole of humanity, but can't be out here talking about you a national and shit and then turning on your heels and acting like you're by yourself. The rich, right? Those who we call the rich and the rulers, or whatever you wish to call them. This finances they definitely had to pledge their assets. Yes, they are guarding some. But understand that a lot of these billionaires, millionaires, whatever, they've created jobs for people who are not millionaires and billionaires to be able to work, to sustain themselves, and the general welfare of the people. Right? Everybody out here trying to get away from everybody's out here trying to get away from government. That's cool. Again, if that's what you're looking for, do that. But you cannot be you cannot be a national and not be a part of a government. In America, the whole North America, all of North America, that's one government. Not y'all, not a lot of you all, but a lot of people that I've been aware of. They like to tell you, yeah, I want to be out of the federal district. All right, you want to be out of the federal zone. That's cool. But your constitution, that's a federal that's federal regulation. That's a federal trust. And each one of the states are party to it. They're party to it. Hey Jay, Justice, Yoder. What's up? Allah. You need to bring me a few things. Okay. I need a roll of papers, a tobacco, and I believe the jar of medicine is clear out. I also need my blood. 4 things. Loud, I guess. All right, I'm back. It's starting to rain a little bit. It is what it is, though. So, you can't be out here as a state citizen only. I mean, again, I ain't gonna tell you what you can't do, but the objective is to come together. The objective is supposed to be to help everybody else. We can't be out here in America acting like we're under European trust. I don't understand what a lot of these people out here talking about status correction, and they themselves haven't corrected their status. A lot of people out here selling processes and faulty procedures. Go look up what nationalization means. What does it mean to nationalize? Because nationals nationalize, right? Right, makes sense. So you should go and find out, what does that shit even mean? To nationalize literally means to take your private property and allow it to be used publicly by your national government. That's what the pledge is all about. So again, I don't really understand where a lot of people are coming off. So I'm a national, and then turning around and saying, I want to be independent from this government. Fuck is wrong with you? That's like me. That's like me being a part of a family and saying I ain't a part of the family, but then expecting to receive the benefits of being in that family. Everybody trying to get away. As a matter, there you go. Just had the thought. A lot of people like to reference the Matrix, right? A lot of people like to talk about the Matrix and escaping the Matrix. Name one person. There were four parts. Name one person who ever escaped the Matrix. I'll wait.
Did you call for a letter?
No, I didn't.
Is this the blunts you're talking about? No.
No.
Okay, was it a pipe?
No, it's a pack.
Okay, gotcha.
It's a pack. It has about. It says show silver on.
All right.
Neo didn't escape the Matrix. Neo did not escape the Matrix. Right? Don't hold your breath while waiting. Everybody act like, oh, we're Neo. All right, cool. Do what the fuck Neo did, right? And the first time, Neo was he was the initiate. He was like the Tyler, if you will. He was just getting to know. And then he learned that he could fight. And then by the second movie, he had realized that he could. He realized that he could bend the will of some things. By the third movie, he was extremely confident in himself. Yes, he learned how to become one with the Matrix. He didn't get away from it. He learned, as a matter of fact, he merged. He merged the trust, so to speak. He let the public, he let that which was public go. He said, hey, look, I'm not arguing. As a matter of fact, he entered into contract with the government. He himself recognized himself as the agent. By the fourth movie, Neo didn't fight to get away from. Neo fought to become part of, man. So all of these Matrix manuals and shit, redemption manuals and all that extra stuff. These motherfuckers ain't telling you the truth, man. Neo nationalized. Neo nationalized. That's what he did. Neo said, "Fuck what everybody else is doing, right? Ain't we can't get away from it. Let's go into it. Let's become one with it. Let's find our position and our roles within it, right?" Neo basically went into the Matrix. He basically got rid of. So Mr. Smith is all those people out there fighting the Matrix. A lot of these people out here, they Agent Smiths. You know, they out here running around reckless, talk about what they want, what they need, and all of that. For self, though. A lot of these people be going for self. Neo didn't go for self. Neo pledged everything that was himself for the benefit of everybody. Not just humanity, but even for the machine. So he did it for the private and the public. Neo wasn't just out there fighting for the people in Zion. I ain't gonna sit here and tell y'all the whole movie, but if you've watched it, you should be able to recall one of the terms and conditions was that should Neo turn over Agent Smith and fulfill his duties, right? That the people would be able to choose whether to participate, which is basically then the people would be able to choose whether they wish to be private or public. A lot of people out here, y'all still mixing jurisdictions and shit. I know it sounds crazy because a lot of us don't want to hear it, but the actual objective, the only way to win is to come into. You want to change something about the government? Go be a politician. What's stopping you? What's stopping you? You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of crybabies out here, man. I hear a lot of crybabies out here, man. They crying and shit about what should be done for them. They acting like straight dependents. I know a couple of people out here teaching to be a dependent. That's crazy to me. What is what it is. There's a saying, ask not what your government or your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country or your government. That says a lot. What can you do for the government? If the government is family. Everyone in America is family. Everyone in America is family. Everyone who is true American. We're all family. Why? Because we're all under the same national government. Your state government's not your national government. That's your nation within a nation. That's not the greater nation. We're not like Africa. We're not like Europe. We're not like Asia. What the fuck is that? Be a super nosy. Okay. So everybody who's in America, we family. So this government is supposed to be for us. We're supposed to be the ones in it. I don't see any foreigners, right? And by foreigners, I mean people who have not pledged their allegiance to their government. I haven't seen any of those types of people in office. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I haven't seen any people claiming to be non-American running for senator, running for the House, running for any of these positions. What's stopping you? You know what I'm saying? I ain't even got my wallet on me. Cause I don't understand. If you want to change some shit, why not just go on in? Why complain about it if ain't nobody gonna hear you? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna hear you out here on TikTok. You know, teaching whatever you're trying to teach without any movement. All these motherfucking foreign cars. I miss my Benz. Ain't nothing stopping anybody from going and getting their passports and then doing all business with their passports, because your passport, that's your government ID. That's your top of the line. That's your top of the line ID. I don't see anybody being stopped from going, getting that, and then doing all their business with that, doing all their business in that name as a government official, and then actually running for, office so that they could be the change that they seek. What's stopping you from doing that? People out here, they want to cry, they want to complain, they want to call people orange and black, all these other dumbass colors and shit. So, people got a lot going on right now, man. Don't be caught up. Don't be caught up in all they crying. If all y'all motherfuckers keep crying, fuck the baby's gonna do. No, it's just real stuff right there. Y'all should be organizing. I'm saying you all because I'm ready for it, but I ain't got enough people around me, and I'm just organizing myself. I'm making sure I'm right, but y'all should be out here organizing. Y'all should be out here learning how business runs, because the government's a business. That's another thing. Everybody acting, oh, the government's a corporation. The fuck it is, yeah. It's an organized body. Right? I'm not a corporate man. Shut the. That shit be killing me, man. If you're not part of the corporate industry, if you are not a producer, you're a consumer. And if you're the consumer, stop crying about it. I mean, what you crying about? Caveat emptor. You should know before you get into what you're getting into, what you got. I mean, I'm about to open up the lines, man. Y'all can talk to me. I'm just curious, How many of these people out here teaching redemption, status correction, how many of them motherfuckers have actually shown evidence that the processes that they're presenting actually influence a matter one way or the other? And secondly, where are the other people who've learned from these people? And what are they doing? Out here trying to, I don't know, man. It's crazy though. It's real crazy out here. People telling y'all anything. Motherfuckers just running with it. Instead of doing no B. Please don't sting me. I don't know where you went. But if I do jump, it's because that motherfucker got me some way, somehow. Shit, man. These people got y'all out here doing, man. I don't watch people lose their homes, property, family, children, lose their minds. Some motherfuckers even lost their lives out here trying to be rebels and shit. Instead of just going into the government. Saying, hey, you know what? I want to be the change I seek, so I'm going to run for this, and I'm going to get enough people, to get behind me, and they're all going to have their passports. So whenever they go and they vote, their votes are going to have weight, And I'm going to just go on in there and be what everyone, be like Neo. Be what everyone needs to be. Man, what y'all talking about, man? What sense does it make to go out there and lose all of your shit? I don't fucking care if you don't care. If you don't care, get off the line. Fuck you mean? Ain't called me Unc. No offense though. I don't understand that. I don't understand why people who don't care say something. That's the whole point of what I'm talking about. If you're not gonna make a change, then stop bitching. 100, stop bitching. If you don't want to do nothing, then get the fuck out the way. You know what I'm saying? Stop getting in people's way. Stop coming to people's channel and saying, "Oh, we don't care for real." The fuck on then, nigga. That's the shit I be talking about, man. That's exactly what I be talking about. You gonna respectfully disrespect me, huh? Fuck out. Y'all don't care. What y'all care about then? Why ain't y'all doing? Cause look, let me come all the way live right here. Most Negroes, if not all Negroes, all they do is bitch, complain, and crash out. That's the whole culture. Bitch, complain, crash out. Repeat. I don't care about none of that. No man, woman, no person, no living person. Yeah, there you go. No living person should be active in a dead culture anyway. Some comments in this live were filtered to whatever, man. I don't even care. It ain't like I'm posting this shit nowhere else. But yeah, you know, if you care enough, you gotta be the guest. You gotta be the change you seek, yo. 100, man. But back to what I'm saying, right? What's stopping you from being the mayor, chief of police? Oh, I don't like that stuff. Well, again, get the fuck out the way then, you know. The Amish don't have to deal with it. Could be like the Amish. You know? Ain't nothing wrong with that. And that's right. Another thing is I see a lot of a lot of division being pushed. You know what I'm saying? Us versus them. You know, all of that. Like, that shit is retarded, yo. That shit is retarded, yo. You mean to tell me that a fourth generation Chinese American doesn't have the same rights on this land as a fourth generation, I don't know, Italian American? Aren't they Americans? Why are we trying to separate shit? Why can't we just, you know, all get along? How about that? You know, we ain't got to be best buddies or nothing, but you know, you can stay over there, I stay over here. Type shit. A lot of people ain't even into business. This is all about business, y'all. Everybody telling you about commerce. This is all about business, man. Be about the business, man. I mean, if you can't work or you're unable to work, that's what welfare is for. To take care of the disabled, those who are not able to create. Don't be out here whining and complaining when you got 2 feet. You can get out there and do what you need to do. Shit, I done seen some people on this app ain't even got no feet out there getting it, you know. I don't know. To be a national of the United States of America means that you are an employee of the family business. That's what it means. So, you know. Y'all can keep fighting like the people in like Unc still yapping. Damn, bro, ain't even saying nothing. Slow ass nigga, you out of here, man. Where is it at? I ain't got time for that. Slow ass people. That be the problem. People like that. Peace, Israel. But that be the problem for y'all who are on here. You know what I mean? Shall do coming. We don't care. Hey, if you don't care, move the fuck on, man. What businesses are you bringing to the table? What are you producing for everybody? You know what I'm saying? Again, look at the rich. The rich, they're reaping benefit because they're out here creating shit. They ain't got to. Their work is in the creation. Get a job, learn a trade, and then put peace and love to you. Get a job, get a trade, whatever, and then present that to the people. I've noticed for a while. Everything, anytime I turn on the TV, everyone's advertising something. Everyone's in it to win it. On this app, every other flip flop. Every other scroll, there's an ad. Oh, I just bought these new hoodies off the TikTok shop. Whatever the case may be. Everybody out here producing something. What you doing? Oh, the orange man, that nigga, man. Trump's doing a lot of wonderful things. I don't agree with everything he does. But based on what I can observe, I feel like his heart is in the right place. He said, y'all motherfuckers don't want to work. I'm going to take this shit away from you. Now I ain't got no choice but to fucking work. Ass gangster. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers, you know. The only people who could get food stamps without busting any moves after this so-called government shutdown ends are those who are disabled. If you're disabled, of course, you can't do this, that, and the third. Then that welfare, you go look up what welfare is and what it's for. That welfare belongs to them. Who pays it? We do. As a Muslim, we have something called zakat. All right? And zakat is sort of the equivalent of almsgiving in your mainstream Christian religious ideology. But overall, what it is it's a system that allows those who do not have to have. We balance the scales, right? So if I'm making a whole bunch of bread, whatever the case may be, I'm going to put a portion of that. You know, I'm going to pledge a portion of that to the overall general public. There are already people who have been elected to take care of those things. And so they're going to circulate my finance plus whoever else's finance so that it is distributed to those and for those that don't have.
I just want to ask you, do you vote in Duquesne?
No. I need to start voting though.
Well, you'd have had to register. Because I want to run for council because you got all idiots down there who don't know what they're doing.
That's what I'm talking about right now.
But it has to be write-in because I didn't run. They already.
So what do you need from me? Is it too late?
If you voted, you just write it in. Instead of voting for what comes up on a machine, you just write it in. It'll ask.
When is the deadline? So
I don't even know if you can yet. It's like 2 weeks.
Get back with me, brother.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Do you know anybody that votes? Here's my card. This is my name. It's got to be spelled right. That's the old card. That's the one I work for the city.
I got you. I'm gonna hand these out, man.
I
was just talking about if people want change, they gotta be the ones to go in and
I should have ran, but I didn't because I'm 76 years old. I don't want to do that shit.
Man, look,
There's nobody doing nothing now.
Groom me. I'll run. I'm for everybody. I'm for what's right. I'm for that.
You know what? That's like everybody was against Fetterman. Now he's the only one that's doing anything.
I fucks with Fetterman, man. You take care, brother.
Okay.
All right. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Let me see. City of Duquesne, John Girotti, supervisor of water and sewage. Oh, word. He working that bill, but that's coolio. All right, yeah, we're gonna do that, man. Shit. Divine timing, absolutely. Brother, ask me if I vote. If you do not vote, as a matter of fact, nah, I ain't gonna. So, most of y'all who are aware of me know that I've been participating in what's called the Moorish Divine, the national movement, and some of the literature that was presented by the founder of the movement actually tells the people that if you don't vote, basically you can't complain. It states that, matter of fact, man, yeah, let me, hold on, I'm gonna bring y'all, come on in, man, it's getting a little nippy out here anyway. Ooh. Oh, man. Allah. On my bed, there's a book that I put together. Most likely it's on the page with the Moorish information. Would you bring it to me? Yeah, welcome to my little office. Shoot. You like this house?
Yes, I did. I was about to comment on it. I like that. It feels more, I guess, what's the word?
Spacious?
Not spacious, but ready for action. You know, you walk right exactly to it, you know?
Oh, you trying to stay out?
Oh, that was just my... No, I instinctively do that.
No problem.
All right, but you're on the page that you were already on. Well,
yes, thank you, beloved. I appreciate you, beloved. Ooh. All right. Now that I got restricted for some audiences, that's cool. So, let me show y'all something, right? Those of y'all who care about this shit, some people just don't care. We don't care anymore. Oh. For those of you who know me or know of me, y'all also know that I kind of left the movement too. And the reason why I left the movement is because these people aren't following procedure. But let me get to it. Let me show y'all something, right? This is particularly for these knuckleheads out here who believe that they are with the true Moors, though they are not. Boom. All right. Y'all see number 21, political slavery? Let me read that to y'all, right? And then just know that this is the information that I use and that I stand by, right? So it says, anytime a man or woman fails or refuses to cast the sacred ballot at the polls, they separate themselves from all rights as an American citizen. Let me read that first part. Anytime a man or a woman fails or refuses to cast a sacred ballot at the polls, they separate themselves from all rights of an American citizen. Absolutely. It says, for surely this is the one connecting medium for a citizen to his nation. What? Now, mind you, this is information that was presented from people who study law, civics, business, all of those things. All right? Listen. They become no more than a belated beast of burden. There are reasons why certain classes who are more or less independent, so he's talking about the independent lobby party, right? There are reasons why such people take no part in politics, since they say they got nothing out of this, since they get nothing out of such in the way of material gain. All right? This is no less than a political slave, which is probably, it says this is no less than a political slave, since they refuse to voice their sentiments at the polls, which goes back to what I was just talking about. What's stopping you from getting out there? Says you were different. I knew you would leave. Alhamdulillah. Well, I only left because it evolved. You know what I mean? So listen, right? It says another form of political slavery, which is probably more prevalent among the less independent classes, is that of being forced into one of the major parties, and they're bribed, coerced, or otherwise forced to vote the wishes of someone else, regardless of their own minds. So if you don't have anybody, like the brother who just pulled up on me, right? If you don't have someone specifically in mind to vote in, then you're going to have to accept whoever's in it. So why not be that one, or find someone qualified? You see what I'm saying? Anytime a man or woman fails or refuses to cast a sacred ballot at the polls, they separate themselves from all rights of an American citizen. People want to be everything but an American citizen. Well, then don't cry about what's going on. That's also why the government is the way it is, because we ain't putting people in there. All right, so during the time of this initial movement, the people became organized. So they had a union, and their union started in Chicago. Well, it started in Newark, New Jersey. But when it was really up and popping in Chicago, this organization gathered its members in Chicago and voted for their alderman. Let me read the rest of this here, right? It says, before there can be general relief for the economic good of all forms of political slavery must be abolished, and every citizen must take his part in the affairs of the nation. Yeah, I guess I am going bald, huh? Whatever. Then it says registering, because you got a lot of people out here talking about don't register, particularly these Moors out here. I don't really. I know why they say that, because they don't study. But it says the 3,000 Muslims of the Grand Temple and the West Side Temple are making ready to register every man or woman in order to take the lead for the various candidates whom they have been instructed to vote for by the organizing party. Alderman Lewis B. Anderson, Honorable George W. Blackwell, Honorable Oscar DePriest, Honorable H. Jackson, all working through the regular Republican organizations, of which the Honorable Daniel M. Jackson is our matchless leader, all know the whole situation and have their own way and time to give the order to go. And the Muslims will be ready. So we just read here that everybody got organized and they had candidates, and when it was time to go to the polls, the people went to the polls. And they elected in Oscar DePriest as the first quote-unquote black congressman, alderman in Chicago. So the people have power to do things. People don't want to organize. People want to cry, bicker, complain. I can't get behind that. Well, you're supposed to be, American citizens are supposed to be investing in their government. This is like, I don't. What do you expect if you don't put anything in? What do you expect to get out of it? All right, enough rambling, right? To nationalize. Look, you know what? Yeah, listen, y'all. This is one of the most telling newspaper articles that I've read that suggests that all people of all races in America are supposed to follow a general procedure when it comes to being recognized as a citizen. Okay? So this is an article that was written back in the mid to late 1920s. And it was in a newspaper circulating, and it wasn't even to the Moorish Americans, mind you. The context of this article shows that Drew Ali, as a Moorish American, was talking to all other Americans, and not at all was he talking to the Moorish Americans. All right. The citizens of all free national governments, according to their national constitution, are all of one family, bearing one free national name. Those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classed as undesirables and are subject to all inferior names and abuses and mistreatments that the citizens care to bestow upon them. So this is how it happened in the people who are not genuinely a part of the government, right? He says, where are we at? It says, and it is a sin for any group of people to violate the national constitutional laws of a free national government and cling to the names and the principles that delude to slavery. So first and foremost, we got Drew Ali talking about the American government in his newspaper article and speaking about particularly his people, but making it so general so that we see how it relates to any group of people, right? And he says that anyone who does not recognize themselves as one of the people, as we the people, are left up to They are left up to the mercy of the true citizens. All right, listen. It says, I, the prophet, was prepared by the great God Allah, to warn my people to repent from their sinful ways. All right, so he just told us what the sin is, and he's basically saying that his people, his particular group of people, right, are doing this. He says, to warn my people to repent from their sinful ways and go back to that state of mind of their forefathers' divine and national principles, that they will be law abiders and receive their divine right as citizens according to the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings. You got Moorish Americans out here talking about they're the only true nationals. Jurali didn't bring that. Jurali said that the Constitution. You got Moors out here. You got so-called Moorish Americans out here right now telling you that the Constitution doesn't apply to them; it just applies to everybody else. That's not what. So let's go. Where are they at? Where are we at? He says they are to claim their own free national name and religion. What's my free national name? American. I would love to say Moorish American. I would love to say it. But I just don't wish to be identified with these people who are blind leading the blind. So I'm a North African. I'm an American of Moorish descent. That's my nationality. All right, but I'm an American. All right, just like the Italian American, right, or the Chinese American. I'm an American. Therefore, the Chinese, first, second, third, fourth generation, etc. Americans, their free national name is Chinese American. See how we all have that American on there? Because we all one family. I'll show you that. But let's get to it. He says, because this is how you nationalize. You know, you come to your government. You're talking about nationalizing. You're talking about being recognized by this corporate government administrative body consisting of three branches of governance. Right? It says, there is but one issue for them to be recognized by this government and of the earth. And it comes only through the connection of the Moorish Divine National Movement, which is incorporated. All these Moors out here talking about being unincorporated. They want to be individuals. They want to be private individuals. And you can be a private individual, but they don't want anything to do with the public. Well, then you can't benefit from the public. But anyway, which is incorporated in this government. What government is he talking about? To me, it sounds like he's talking about the American government. Doesn't sound like he's talking about the Moorish American government. If there was such a thing. There's not such a thing. There's not such a thing. All right? All right. It says, which is incorporated in this government and recognized by all other nations of the world, and through it, they and their children can receive their divine rights unmolested by other citizens. So that means that they would be citizens too, right? And listen, that they can cast a free national ballot at the polls under the free national constitution of the state's government, and not under a granted privilege, 14th Amendment, as has been the existing condition for many generations. Okay? So Drew Ali said, Americans go to the state polls to vote. They don't vote as federal citizens. They're federally recognized as state citizens. They're nationals. They're perfect. Right? Anywho, you who doubt whether I, the prophet, and my principles are right for the redemption. Did I catch that? Redemption of my people. Go to those who know that know law. So Drew Ali is he's daring you, if you will. He's begging you, if you will. Please, if you don't fucking believe me, if you don't believe that what I'm talking is right, right? If the shit that I'm talking about is not what's really popular, go to the people who know law in your governments, in your states, in your locals, in your municipality. Go ask them under an intelligent tone. What is it that he's bringing to the people? He's saying that the people must proclaim their nationality, right? To be citizens, right? So he's saying, ask them under an intelligent tone, and you'll receive a favorable reply, and they will be glad to render you a favorable reply, for they are glad to see me bring you out of darkness into light. So he's any citizen of any state within the nation that is unsure as to what nationalization is. He says, go to those who know law. He didn't say go to those who want to teach you how to stay. He said, go to those who actually know law in your governments and in your city hall. Well, who gets to walk in the city hall? True citizens? Are you active? Are you a constituent? Then ask them. And they're going to tell you, yeah. And they're going to be happy that you asked, because now you can come in and be a part of what they're doing. They'll be glad to see you come out of darkness into light. All right. It says, money does not make the man. Money doesn't make the man. It is free national standards and power that makes a man and a nation. So money doesn't make the nation either, because the national standards make up the man and the nation. All right. It says the wealth of all national governments. So that's the welfare. That's the general common. It's the common wealth, right? The wealth of all national governments, gold and silver and commerce, belong to the citizens, not to the non-citizens, not to the non-resident aliens, right? Doesn't belong to them. It belongs to those who are recognized by their government, right? It says, belong to the citizens alone. And without your national citizenship by name and principles, you have no true wealth. So I need to have national citizenship for the redemption. For my own redemption, I need to be recognized not as an independent person, but as one who's a part of the whole. All right? That's the only way that I can be recognized as being owed right? The money, the gold, the wealth, the commonwealth, right? Listen, he says, and I'm hereby calling on all true citizens, everybody. If you're a citizen, he said the same thing Paul said when he was a Roman. Yeah, absolutely, because he ain't bringing us nothing different. Drew Ali exposed all the religious circuits and brought them all into one, so that everybody, if you're coming out of this book here, you'll see right here it says XYZ. Oh, you're coming out of this book, look here, his XYZ is XYZ. Right, that's all. We'll all be able to find it. It says, and I'm hereby calling on all true citizens that stand for national free government and the enforcement of the Constitution. Enforce the Constitution. So in order to enforce the Constitution, you have to be a constituent member, a true citizen. You have to be recognized. You have to have pledged your property so that the government is holding your property and administrating in your behalf. Right? All right. Because it's supposed to be your family. He says, and the enforcement of the Constitution to help me in my great missionary work. Because I need support from all true American citizens of the United States of America. Let's take a moment to listen to that statement. He needs all support from all true American citizens of the United States of America. Okay. Keep that in mind. Help me to save my people who have fallen from the constitutional laws of the government. So what government is he talking about? Let's rewind, right? And I am hereby calling on all true citizens that stand for a national free government and the enforcement of the Constitution to help me in my great missionary work, because I need all support from all true American citizens of the United States of America. Help me to save my people who have fallen from the constitutional laws of the government. So he's talking about the United States of America. I'm depending on your support to get them back to the constitutional fold again. So who is Drew Ali talking to? He ain't talking to the Moorish Americans. He's pleading. This is called a divine warning. He's pleading to other American citizens to help him save who? His people. I just need y'all to conceptually, right? He's not talking. He's literally informing any and all other American citizens who are willing to listen. All right. Which shows you that he was looking to come together. He wasn't trying to be separate. He wasn't talking anything regarding segregation. He wasn't talking anything about going back to Africa. No, he wasn't. All right. I'm depending on your support to get them back to the constitutional fold again. Hold on. Damn. I'm depending on your support to get them back to the constitutional fold again, that they will learn to love instead of hate. So he looks for all these other American citizens. Yo, please go to my people and embrace them. And I know it's hard. But they have to see it because they don't know about being told. Go to them. What did you say? Where we at? Yeah, he says go to them and show them so much love that they can stop hating. So Drew Ali is saying that it's the Moorish Americans who are calling themselves black. It's the Moorish Americans, or those who are he's teaching, those who he call his own people. These are the ones who are not upholding the law of the land, being one with all. Okay? He says, I'm depending on your support to get them back to the constitutional fold again, that they will learn to love instead of hate and will live according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, right? Supporting our free national constitution of the United States of America. So Girardi is saying, hey, the Moorish Americans need to get back with everyone else. He said that the Constitution is ours, and he was speaking to all other American citizens when he said it. He wasn't speaking to the Moorish Americans. Listen. It's time. Huh, baby?
More as we feel.
Thank you. Listen, because this is very telling right here, right? He says, I love my people, and I desire their unity and mine back to their own free, national, and divine standard. Because day by day, they have been violating the national and constitutional laws of their government by clinging to names and principles that are unconstitutional. Does that sound like Girardi saying that the Moorish Americans are a part of some separate government? The Moorish Americans are walking around calling themselves African Americans. Blacks, Negroes, coloreds, things of that nature. And he's saying that these are violating their constitutional rights because that's not recognized constitutionally. And he's saying that he desires the unity of him and his people back to the Constitution. Right? Now, the only other African status that is constitutional is white. But that's another story. Listen here, right? If Italians, Greeks, English, these are European nations, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians, these are all Asian, right, are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America, it is no more than right that the law should be enforced upon all other American citizens alike. So Girardi just told us he's showing inclusion, not exclusion. Girardi's saying, hey, if they have to do it, we have to do it too. He's saying that all of these nations, in order to be recognized as American citizens here in America, they have to proclaim that they are Americans within their state and the nation, and they have to let it be known what religious trust law is being implemented. And he's saying that's universal. That's for everybody. Everybody has to do that. And mind you, he said if the Europeans and the Middle Easterners have to do it, then it should also apply to the North Africans. Standard Form 181 form. Race and ethnicity and race identification form. White, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, Italy, where's it at? England, Greece, right? Middle East, right? Turkey, Arabia, right? And all of those Asian if that has to be, if they have to do it, then so do these I ran off. Middle Easterners and North Africans. White is the status for Middle Easterners, Europeans, and North Africans in union here in America. There's a whole racial category that says, hey, we're all one. We're white Republicans. Just saying. All right. He says in all other governments, when a man is born and raised there and asks for his national descent name, and he doesn't give it, or he fails to give it, he is then misused, imprisoned, or even exiled. And this is for any group of people that fail to answer up to the constitutional standards of law by name and principles. Because to be a citizen of any government, you must claim your national descent name. What is my national descent name? I'm a Moorish American. I have North African ancestry, and I'm here in America. I wasn't born in Morocco. I wasn't born in Africa. Africa's not my home. America is my home. Everybody, there's people here in union under the American Constitution that said, hey, for our generations to come, they will be Americans here. They don't have to be European, African, or Asian, but they must recognize where they've come from. But they are Americans through and through. This is the land for Americans. This is the hub. This is the love here. Listen here. Listen. Because to be a citizen of any government, you must claim your national descent name. Why? Because they place their trust upon issue and names formed by their forefathers. I'm not even going to read the rest of this. But I'm going to tell y'all this. If you were to read this, you would see that Drew Ali is talking to the foundational Black Americans, to the the Black American Native Indian, whatever. He's telling all of them that they must return. They must come back to be in unit with everybody. They must get rid of this idea that they must get off of this idea of property ownership. Me, mine, not yours. They look, get down and lay down. Get down and lay down. Either everybody gonna sit here and eat, or anyone stopping everyone from eating is gonna be ate. But no, that's not what I was saying. Drew Ali goes to the rest of this. Drew Ali is saying that it's these people, these so-called blacks, Negroes, coloreds, these so-called people who do not identify under the Moorish ideology, right? He's saying they're the ones who cause their own conditions. He speaks about segregation, Jim Crowism. And says, shit. He says that it is the actions He's saying that it is the actions of these black people that caused Jim Crowism and segregation. He doesn't say that white people is the black people's problem. He said that black people, or the disorganization and the blatant disregard to the status of being an American citizen, is what brought them into segregation and Jim Crowism. Because you did not identify as one of, because you accepted this concept of not being at home. They treated you like, he said it in the beginning of this. He treated you like the people, the citizens treated the black people the way they treated black people because black people act not in accordance with law. This is not to say that the people who think that they're black people are bad people. This is to say that whole concept of black means that you're not a national. It means that you're not a citizen. That's what it means. And there are people out here running around saying, hey, I'm black, which means, hey, I'm not recognized in law. And then they're saying, hey, recognize me as equal to everybody else. You have a whole white class that has 3 different continents on it, where all these people are identified as equal. Even though they're from different continents, different nations, different countries, they all identify as one people. But no, black people say, yeah, no, we from Africa, and we're not with anybody. We're by ourselves out here. It's niggas out here, man. Niggas out here. Black people, Drew Ali and company. We're teaching the basics of civics, of organization, of trust, of equitable ownership. He was teaching us how to be, what did he call it? Commercial enterprises, right? He's teaching the program that he was presenting, right? Has room for everybody, black people or those who identify with that brand or that class, that designation. They're not organized, and then they're always blaming somebody else. You want to be a national, you can't be black, y'all. You can't be black. You cannot identify as black, pardon me. Be whatever you wish to be, right? If you wish, I wish I had that on me too. I don't have that on me. Oh. All right. I don't know how that would work. So if you again, if you were to look at the standard form 181, and I can tell you what it says verbatim. The designation for black or African American is a person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. All right? Now, every other classification speaks about every other classification. Says a person having origins in any of the original peoples. Says nothing about racial groups, particularly African racial groups. Black or African American literally means not recognized as a citizen. You want to correct your status? Go get you an SS4. Is it 04 or 5? A Social Security replacement application form. Identify your person as white, particularly if you identify with being African. 5 what? Let me see. Mentions people 5. I don't understand what you're saying. But you're more than welcome to come up. Let me see, who is that? Yusuf. Salaam alaikum, Yusuf. All right. So you correct your status with the SS form. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. So the SS5 form. That's where your government. That's where your property is registered through the Social Security. We've heard that. We all know that. Got a whole bunch of patriot thumpers out here telling you that. So if your person isn't, if your person is black, it has no recognition worldwide. This is not me saying it. Look at that SF, look at that form, right? So you would change, you would elect to have white. White, if you're African, white has North African, right? If you wish to be Native American, holding, or American Indian, pardon self, stating that you're from America and still practicing tribal allegiance, right? As opposed to national allegiance. There's a classification for that. If you are not from America, right? If you do, there's look, they've got Asian, they've got Pacific Islander, they've got all of these other classifications identifying land, right? Indians. Is that, I'm not sure. Native Alaska. So the SF1 classifies, you have Alaskan natives, and then you have American Indians. Okay. So these are the classifications on the form. So when you say Indians, yeah, it's American Indian. Though I'll leave that one, right? Because again, we're here. For those who desire to stay under the race classification of black, Marcus Garvey showed you people that all it really takes, no matter what, is unity. Look at, for lack of a better example, look at the Nation of Islam. Black people organized. They got something going. They got jobs for their members. They have roles for their members. Even they are heard to some degree. Just saying. If you wish to be black or African American, it doesn't stop you from organizing. But to be black or African American literally means unorganized, unincorporated, unrecognized, not known. And we get this from reading not the more science information. We get that literally from reading a government application form. But yeah, if you wish to get your nationality right, you got to start at the Social Security office, the base office, classify yourself correctly, and then nationalize. By nationalizing, what you're going to do is you're going to fill out the DS-11 form if you're already born here. If you're not born here, you would naturalize. I guess that's still under the DS-11 or whatever. I'm not quite sure. But if you're born here, you're from here, you would fill out that DS-11 and you would acknowledge, right, that you are a member of the organization called the United States of America. You're one of the many people who said, you know what, despite despite where I may have come from, it's not where you're from, it's where you at. Right? You no matter that it doesn't matter that my ancestors came from North Africa or from wherever. They left me here, and I'm here. And anyway, I'm here to protect and defend and honor this land. This is my homeland. This is our motherland. You could be from China, you could be from Croatia, you could be from anywhere, but you're here. And your national descent, your flag, that's the, hey, all honors. But here in America, this is home. If this is your homeland, you are in America. All right? What was I getting at? Yeah. Was it 31? But get your passport. Your passport is your national ID. And then do business with it. Work. Don't be scared to work. A lot of people are scared to work too. I don't understand. But if you, there we go. Let me think. Yeah. Let me read this to y'all, right? Number 34. All right. This is what the Moorish Science Temple of America is teaching. Or let me properly state that. The civics being taught through the program that was initially presented through the Moorish Science Temple of America is saying this. It says the Moorish Science Temple of America was founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Aside from the fact that it is a legally organized religious corporation, it is building on human needs. To this desirable end, in time, legitimate means will be found to dispense charity and provide for the mutual assistance of its members in times of distress, to aid in the improvement of health, and to encourage the ownership of better homes, to find employment for our members, to teach those fundamental principles which are desired for our civilization, such as obedience to law, loyalty, respect and loyalty to government, tolerance, and unity. It is most earnestly hoped that the Moorish Science Temple of America will not in any way be confused with any Back to Africa movement. Share this out. Such is not important insofar as American citizens of our group colonizing Africa are concerned. So he said, well, let me see. What if you have one? A passport? Okay, I'll take a moment to answer that. So, if you have a passport, here's my question. Do you already have the white classification? Answer me that. It does matter. If you already have, you know what? Here, maybe now that I figured. So even if you already have the passport, all right, you can still at any time, you have the right to declare your nationality and you have the right to change your nationality, which means that at any point in time, you can schedule an appointment with the Social Security Administration office and in order to update, if you will, that information. So if you have the white status already and you have your passport, then your status is corrected and now you must act accordingly. All right. Now all the energy that you have been putting out will be to the benefit instead of the detriment of yourself and others. That's it. You are now recognized as an American citizen with the full faith and credit, with all the rights, immunities, duties, and responsibilities, obligations that come with being a citizen. All right, so I'm going to answer Marcy, and then I'll get right to you, Joseph. So you could send a declaration now. You could write yourself up a declaration of whatever it is that you feel you need to say. What is it that you wish for your government to know about concerning your position, right? Your national declaration, if you will, of allegiance. And then that will be put on file, and again, you will be recognized as one of the people with equal rights. Still mean you still have to go out there and vote and mingle and be active, but now you are seen as well as heard. Okay, and if your status is not white on your passport, can it still be? Yes, it can still be used in business. Absolutely. Yes, it can still be used in business. And again, as I said, there are other designations, there are other classifications for race. That's what it was. Listen. That's what it was. And I'm glad that. Listen, because I wish for y'all to hear this part, right? It says, we of the Moorish Science Temple of America, you're most welcome, like countless other American citizens, know that we must live together here in America in harmony, friendship, and goodwill, whatever our race and creed may be. Okay? So again, whatever your race, your creed, whatever your nationality and religion is, we can all live here together in harmony, friendship, and goodwill, right? For the benefit of the whole, right? It says, it is only from a purely religious standpoint that we differ from a large number of our fellow Americans. We believe in and foster the Muslim religion. We believe in the principles of its teachings insofar as they can be adopted to American life. We feel that the Christian religion is all right for those who prefer it. For in America, religious freedom is guaranteed all under the Constitution. Do we see the inclusivity? Do we see that, again, hey, whatever our race and creed may be, we can stand here together and hold it down or lift it up, whatever the case may be. Whatever your race or creed may be, as long as it's all about honor. But again, Jur Ali is teaching his people, right? Because the whole point is to teach his people to get back in line with the rest of people so that all of us can be one people, right? He's teaching them, hey, look, that's your brother over there. You're an American, they're an American. Let me see. I canceled voters registration, birth certificate. I didn't want to be a part voting for a president. Okay. You don't understand. You don't. I wish to say this the right way. You do not wish to be involved in the economy, in the economics, is what that sounds like to me. And if you are not active, you cannot benefit. You have every right to run around here thinking that America's a corporation, because it is. It's a family business. You have more than every right as a family member. Feels deceitful. It feels deceitful because we are misinformed. Only because we are misinformed. There's no way out. There's no way out. As a matter of fact, we put ourselves in. If we wish for anything to change within our business, then we have to be active. We have to go into the organization. We have to be active as agents. If you could be an agent of destruction, then you can also be an angel of, what's a good word here? Abundance. Well, you got to do that. It feels deceitful because we're not in it. We don't, I won't say we, many are not sure. They're ignorant. That's all. They're ignorant. And they're driving off of hate. A lot of people are being pumped with hate. Hate is disunity. Hate is fear. Hate breeds all of these things that would say, hey, I can't be, I refuse to be together. Hate breeds that idea of, I just want to be private and I don't want to be public. All right, so I see the verbiage that you're using in terms and all of that, and I know where you're at mentally, and that's great. But I'm not going to, fuck it, why not? Let me open up. Would you like to come up? We can just speak about things. Because I was reading, and I keep seeing that you ask for questions. I'm here to answer some questions. All right. Please come on up.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, ma'am. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm well. All is well. Thank you for
Thanks
asking.
for having me up. I appreciate that.
Trying to be as open and transparent and as possible. I'm here to share, love.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I am not confused, but a little saddened. I go from different people talking about different things, and I understand what you're talking about correcting, you know, the status on the form, which I have done. I've corrected the Social Security form. I've applied for the Social Security the passport, but I didn't send the declaration in with them. So, um, and I've seen some of your videos where you went over that. Um, and I know it would probably go to the Secretary of State if I was to create that declaration and send it in. Am I correct?
Absolutely. If you need to know where to send it specifically, I'd say go on that the U.S. Department of State website. Get the right address and just send it to them. The heading could say something like "attention to whom it concerns." To who it
Yeah.
concerns, or to who all these matters presents, whatever the case may be, and just stipulate on the record that which you desire to state, just so that they have a copy of your affidavit. You are saying whatever it is that, again, you are notifying them of.
Okay. Okay. But then once that's done, it's like now what's next? And we hear all about these
So
trusts,
we
you know.
understand. I understand that this is about business. America is all about business. So the next thing we all have to figure out, what business are we doing? What are we busy doing, and how are we to benefit from it? So I do everything in my creditor name, which is the passport. I'm learning how to do that. Um, I'm learning how to not just be a dependent, right, or a consumer, right? What can I produce? What can I present to the people? What can I present? What can I bring to the table that not only benefits me but benefits everybody else? Business. What products, goods, services?
Yeah.
We need to
I,
be
I
out here doing things in that manner, think that manner. Most of us are looking for the money, and there is no money, right?
right.
And if you create business, the money will come, so to speak. So
That's
we need to
true.
be learning what trades, what skills, what can we do to better our own conditions. We need to. Who knows the law? Who understands contracting? Who understands administrative procedure? Hey, look, we should be closer together, being more active in our communities. People don't even learn government. There's a municipal government. Well, maybe I might want to be. I might not want to be the mayor, right? But I might want to be on the board. Well, what are the qualifications? Then I would go and I would learn those things. Now me personally, I would be part of that. What's there's a term for that, assembly. So I would be
Yeah.
privy to what's being spoken about politically. I'd be able to go back to my people. Hey, look, these are the conditions. Uh, the we'll say the county got X amount of finance for the budget. And me as your representative being in office, right, or actually having access to the assembly, right, I can speak on the behalf of the people. We need to be going in and, hey, look, we can use some of that financing over here. I know a couple of people who wish to, start a nursery or start whatever the case may be. We
Right.
need
I
to
do have
become
an idea.
businessmen and women and stop looking to others to do it for us. Start observing what's actually being done. No longer accept that what we see people doing. Uh, no longer looking at government as the bad guy, right? And again, it's learning. Government is just administration. We need to learn how to execute and administrate business. We're commercial contractors.
Yeah, that's true, knowing who we are. But my issue is when I say it's deceitful, I'm I'm talking about these companies out here. Before I knew who I was and I knew that the signature is the most important value that we have and how we need to be signing for these contracts. But before I knew all of that, my concern is getting back to how do I fix those um, what they call blank signatures um, or debtor signatures, which created the obligation when I'm really the one, providing the credit, but they're giving me the debt and learning
Yeah, you
how
need the debt. There's no credit if there is no debt.
right, because there's two sides to the ledger, right?
Right,
But
but
they
the
have
debt, the debt, the
learn
debt is the
learning how
principal.
to balance them and extinguish them so that I don't have the debt.
So your social security number acts as the debit side, and your passport number operates as the creditor side.
Right, and
Where you would do all your business with that, and that's how you correct everything. You let anything that you dealt with your social, let that shit run inactive. Let it go.
right, and use the
Start using your passport. Um, so what is it like? I think you get a renewal every 10 years. So that's your reinvest. You're investing,
yes.
right? And membership. You're a card carrying or book carrying member.
Right.
Remember, you know
So
what I mean? So again, you would collect as a credit. You would be able to act in the capacity of, even if you're not the one giving the credit, you've already given the credit, right? Acting as the agent, you now have permission, you have authorization to put your hand in the pot. You done pledged everything that was yours, everyone else done pledged. Okay, now, hey, we may need a bill to XYZ on behalf of this in order to, you know, stir up some economy in the community. Oh, okay, well, you're recognized as not as a dependent, not as an incompetent, not as a passive person. You know, you're not at the mercy of the people. You're a fiduciary. You are recognized and authorized as not only looking over your own but others. Hey, yeah, if you feel like, you know, that's a good investment, you know, then take heed. You know, do what you need to do. We need to, again,
yeah,
we need to learn how to, instead of just being workers. There's nothing wrong with being a worker, but workers only know what workers know, right?
right.
And so we need to learn how to be supervisors. We need to not just learn how to be debtors. We need to learn how to be creditors. We need to learn not how to just be consumers, but producers. Not just beneficiaries, you know, but being beneficial to others as well. You know, again,
Absolutely.
like you said, we need to see both sides.
Right. And that's what I'm talking about is how do we balance the account? Say I want to go buy a house, and me knowing what I know is deter me from going to buy or going to,
So you
you
need
know,
to have business set up. Denise, you need to do everything through a business.
through a business or a trust or
It, all businesses run off trust law.
okay, because everything is a trust
There you go.
relationship.
There you go. There you go. Always an offerer, offeree, and the binding or the unity, which makes the law. It's always there. Um, Again, the example that I have is this brother Drew Ali and his organization, which produced other opportunities for commercial enterprise for its members. In those times prior to 1933, the people were bringing all of their finances to their organization. They were funding their own activities from one main organization, which it was a civic organization. So it was a government. It was teaching the people politics, right? It was teaching people how to operate commercially as a citizen, right, in the public. They had insurance policies going. Um, they had moving companies, but what it is the people all pledged or they invested, they organized, they came together, they took what was theirs and they put their share in, and this allowed for like a cascade effect where, again, you've got bookstores, you've got farmers markets, you've got this, you've got that, and it's the whole community. And all of this, again, it comes from organized business. So we need to learn how to get into business, which also creates opportunity, businesses, positions for other people. And then we operate under that trust or under that person, right? And we use that person as our, I don't want to say slave, but servant, right? All of us is, hold on one second. Okay, we have to kick a clown out because this is not the circus. All righty, and we're back. I mean, you know what? To be honest with you, I can't give you any one specific because there's just so much work to be done. But we have to come together and plan on make a plan. There's nothing out here that we can just tap into. You know, if we're not out here creating, then we're out here recreating. You know, if we're not creating the businesses, then we're working for the businesses.
Right. I have a business in mind. I used to be a nurse
See,
at the
whatever your skill set may be, it's that's always in high demand.
yeah, yeah. I like helping the elderly, so I wanted to create a business around helping the elderly in their homes. So, and I kind of look at this, I do look at this information as generational wealth, like generational knowledge that I need to learn so that I can pass on to my grandbabies, because I don't want them growing up thinking that they're the obligor when they're not the obligor. So I need to learn this, how to, for lack of words, work the system so that, and teach them how the system, how to, I guess, how to present themselves in the system, not as a obligor, should I say. So that's what I really am trying to learn, this information, what I need to be
So then,
doing.
who's the obligee if you were, or who is the obligor if you were not the obligor? Just a quick question.
The To answer that, the name is the obligor.
The name is an account.
The name is an account,
That's all it is.
right? And the name assesses the obligation, right? But we've been saying that we're the name all our
Now,
lives. So we,
I represent the name.
yeah, I represent the name because everything I sign, I'm the authorized representative. But you know
Right.
what? I kind of feel, for lack of words, I feel so stupid when I pay these bills that I've acquired, throughout my life, and I'm sending them checks, knowing that I'm not paying
Do
anything.
you feel as though these things should be free?
No, I feel that they should have taught us, since they took the gold away, and gave us this new
They did not
system.
take the gold away for a negative reason. I need you to real quick. It's called the Emergency Banking Relief Act because the
Okay,
people were going off of tangible. We all knew about gold and silver, right? And
right.
just about everybody had it in their hands at that time. But we were going off of a tangible system or into a trust-based system of debits and credits. And in order to relieve the people of possible squandering, because we're going into a new system, they had the people pledge all of that. And the same people who are pledging it, if and should they learn, they can become the people who they can become the fiduciary, they can become the overseers, right, of these finances. But the relief was so that the people wouldn't squander. They didn't steal the money from the people. We just went on to just like right now, we're about to go into a digital based currency. They're not stealing the people's money. Trump already said, hey, look, we're going to stop printing the penny. Well, what do you think is going to come after that? Then they're going to stop printing the nickel.
Yeah.
All right, so they're not stealing the money. They're relieving the people. They're easing us. It's administrative easement. We're being eased into a new economy. People keep. I hear a lot of people say, "Yeah, they stole our money." They didn't steal our money. If the people truly felt like, "Hey, we don't want to go into this new economy," the people could have said, "Fuck it, give me life or give me liberty." What is it? Give me liberty or give me death. People could have stood on it.
Yeah, they sure could have.
Yeah, they sure as hell. But they did again, which was the whole point. The people didn't know how to manage their money. So bankers were put in a position. The only thing that stopped me from learning about banking was that I didn't know that I could be one.
And that's the issue. They didn't, or did they? Did they give the people the information that they needed to um
So I know that my mother and father came up identifying as black, and they weren't active in any type of organizations, either one of them. So they themselves would have not even, they never got any type of inkling, as to what business law or any of that is. My mom and dad are true common people,
yeah, that goes
and
all
that's
all
that law, business, finance. These are things that are not taught in the quote in the African American communities. So if we were not, if my family were involved, my parents and their families were involved enough, they would have sought for some other information. Like I sought for other information because I didn't think this shit was right. I didn't think that I had to slave, and now I realize I'm not slaving. I'm working. I'm giving my due diligence. I'm not a slave. I'm a servant. I'm a servant to the people, not a slave to any one king.
right. Right. And it's just a matter of learning how to
It's
correct the
perception.
mistakes.
It's how to look
Correct.
at things.
Huh?
It's how you look at things. A knife by itself isn't good or bad, right? If I just pick up a knife, the knife can't cause any good or any harm unless I give it the will, right?
Right.
Right. So you know, I learned what I needed to learn, and like I'm teaching them every day. This one here, he got an accounting book that he got to read and come to me and question me about. We're learning accounting. We're learning to be accountable. We're learning that hey, it's not really up to. If I want to change, I got to change it. I'm giving my children something that I know my parents didn't even think to give me.
Absolutely.
But I have to also let my children know, like, hey, we're coming into a changing of times, and um, their generation. I know that my generation is lost in the sauce when it comes to this new age communication, and I mean I've seen it in other generations back and back. So like we're dependent on them to come into this new stuff. We've known yourself, myself. We've known this economy that we're in right now. That's all we knew. They're about to know something totally different, and so I have to be accountable enough and responsible enough to guide them towards what I know I see. Like, hey, look, you got to understand these principles of accounting and bookkeeping. Even if you don't know what's coming, as long as you have that foundation, you'll be able to put it all in perspective.
Yeah, it's a lot to learn.
It is. It is. But you know what? When I remember putting myself through, I guess you would say this is an education. I pride myself on my research. I'm a researcher. All right. Um, I've put so much time and energy into try to figure things out, and when I finally figured certain things out, I'm like, damn. Not only was it right there, but the only reason why I didn't see it is because I kept trying to look at something else. It's been there the whole time. I use the I use the analogy of the Matrix. Were you in here when I was speaking about the Matrix earlier?
No.
Okay. You've seen the Matrix, yes?
Yes.
Have you seen all four?
It's been a while.
So there was a fourth Matrix. Okay. It's called Matrix Resurrection, by the way. Okay. And So I use this analogy. There was a trilogy, and all throughout the trilogy, Neo is doing all this fighting against the machine. Then he stops fighting. In the fourth movie, the last one, he stops fighting and he embraces the machine. He realizes the only way out is through. There is no escape. If you wish for there to be a new Matrix, you have to be active in creating. That's what I'm doing. That's what I tell the people. Stop fighting. Once you get to a point where you've done all this fighting and you realize, shit, I don't have to fight anymore. I never had to fight, but the fighting is going through it and learning so that you know. Once you know, it's like, damn. It's simple. This is not hard. It was hard to get there, but once you get there and you realize, hey, everything's going to flow right. You haven't found that. Accounting is our bookkeeping. These are our foundations. Everything in life takes account. Everything is an account.
Right, and as a trustee, you have to know accounting.
Absolutely. The trust, that's the contract, that's the agreement, that's the mind state, and it's whatever you agree to. So if I can agree to investing in this government, right? And like Neo, he embraced everything. He just became one with it. So by myself becoming one with it, I can now manipulate it to the good. Stop fighting. I was fighting it. I didn't want, I wanted to be a non-citizen national. I wanted to be a secured party creditor. I was out there trying to be all these things. And I'm like, I'm already all of these things. And by me fighting, by me trying to say it's only me. You know what? I've been smoking and I keep losing my place in my mind. And I don't want to sound like I'm rambling.
Well, tell me, what do you think about the power of attorney? Do we actually need a power of attorney over the principal?
Yes.
Because
the principal is the child.
Is that how you correct your minor status? Is becoming
the principal is the source. Remember, you were but a seed, right? The seed was full of all of whatever. You were the source. That's the principle. Now, you are not in that form anymore. You understand? So you represent the principle. The minor is the little child in you. It's the minor in you. It's the dependency, right? It's the non-ability or the disability to execute an administrate.
My phone is ready to die. I'm gonna have to go get on my iPad.
Okay, no problem. But you're still here with me?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. So the minor account, the principal, the child, the security instrument, like this is what needs to be protected. That's not you anymore. We're all children of God, but some of us are grown-ups, right? So the minority account, or the debitor, or the principal, again, that is who you were. That's what gives you. Again, that's the seed. But you're the tree, if that makes sense. So you have to act like the tree. The tree gives shelter, shade, provides, but the seed itself needs, again, I'm rambling. I'm trying to get my concepts right for you. So the Social Security personage acts as your personal estate, artificial person. It's the account record on the ledger, and that ledger, that account, also has a creditor side. Where am I getting at? The principal. All right. I don't know how I'm trying to explain it. It's not coming out. And I don't want to miss the mark by just rambling. I apologize. Oh shit. I'll look up and she ain't even in on it. So instead of using the Social Security number, we can, yeah, absolutely. For most things. So one thing that I've been learning, I'm looking to figure out, is how to utilize my passport person through credit, through financial institutions. So I know in America, my best bet would be utilizing some type of Islamic Muslim financial institution, because their trust law states that there's no interest. But here in America, non-Muslim financial institutions, they're always trying to get your Social Security number. I've already tried to open up a bank account. Maybe I didn't go hard enough. And again, I would tell you to get an EIN, get a business, open up a business, get the bank account through the business, and then employ yourself with your passport number instead of the social. Welcome back, love. Marcy. Are you there, Marcy? Up. Copy. Thanks for clarity. Most welcome. And again, I need for anybody and everybody hearing me, man, like, don't just go off of what I'm saying either. What makes sense to me might not make sense to you, and I'm not here to be righteous. I'm just here to be right. Or excuse me, I'm not here to be right. I'm here to be righteous. So, I'm not claiming that I know everything. I'm not telling you go take anything that I tell you. As a lot of these gurus say, right? Do your own due diligence, but absolutely. But yes, I haven't been able. Marcia, are you there? I can't hear you if you are. Okay, audio issues. Okay. But people should come together. Some people who have business ideas need to come together, establish a board of directors, mission statement, all of those things. Get the business going, and then execute. Right now, I work with my passport. Right now, I work on TikTok. I'm at work right now, literally. And my W-4 form. I use my social, or excuse me, I use my passport. My last job, I used my passport as in place of the social. So I used my national citizen, rather than just my local estate. I use my real estate person instead of my personal estate person, or I use my fiduciary instead of my principal. Right? There was no federal withholding as far as taxes were concerned. That I can attest to. I'm trying to figure out the difference between the rich and the poor. And then I'm just trying to do what the rich do. Every rich person that I hear of has a business, which means that they have Fortune 500 companies to some degree, and they're employing 500 or more people. So the Moorish Science Temple of America was a Fortune 500. Right. Moorish Science Temple. But yeah, anybody else? We ain't got but 6 people up here. We can talk about whatever. They defer or avoid. Yes. Yes. They do not evade. They defer. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why Trump was able, during his last run, when he was speaking to Hillary Clinton, he was able to say boldly with his chest out, "No, I don't pay taxes." Yes, you can defer. Right, because they understand how to use debt to the advantage instead of to the detriment. I can assure you none of those rich people are using that Social Security number. There's no need to. You know? And they all have passports. Why? Because they're doing business. It's business. It's about being a businessman or woman. What's your business? Religiously, Jesus was found in his father's house, and he told his mom, "Don't you know I will be about my father's work? Work is business." So what was his father's business? It's supposed to be about business. There was trust law there. So I would imagine so. Absolutely. I would imagine so. To use your passport. One of the experiments that I'm getting ready to run, I have to save up some finance to do so. I'm going to see if I can procure a driver's license using a passport. Even still, in the back of my mind, I don't imagine that people who are wealthy drive, or they're the ones behind the actual operator, but they definitely have someone with the license operating and maintaining their vehicles. So I would like to see how that works. What we can learn from it when I get into it. Right now, presently, the Social Security number person that I am, that my Social Security, my person, my minority person, it has a year suspension on driver's license. So I'm just curious to see if the passport would act as another person. And I would like to see if I could actually obtain the driver's license. And then if I'm able to obtain the driver's license with the passport, that means that all of the national provisions come with it. I don't have a problem with licensing. I have an issue with people accessing information that they ain't got no business accessing. So again, if you have it, just think of it. If you know about your passport, if you've used it in any manner other than flying and observed, you would see that there is a high level of security clearance with your passport. So again, I'm curious to know if when I get the driver's license with the passport and then I quote unquote get pulled over maybe for running a red, whatever the case may be, right? Not that I'm looking to do such. I would like to know what comes up. Because I know what comes up under the social. Everything comes up under the social. Not much comes up under that passport. I know this from background clearances at work. When I used the social, all the litigation that I was going through at the time would come up. You know, there were certain jobs that I wasn't able to get because they couldn't get past the fact that I was basically warring against just how I feel, warring against the state. You know, talk about driving versus traveling. That's for another time. But when I ran when my passport was used, clear background check like that. You know, so let's talk in private. I may be able to explain something. I'm not really looking for anything. I appreciate the invite, but I'm not really here to speak to anybody in private for free. Ain't nothing for free unless I'm giving it up. So if you wish to speak to me, we can work something out. But again, I'm not really seeking much of anything right now. But again, I appreciate the offer. You're trying to help me. I need help. I will check out this page on the strength of the sister. I'll see what's up. Let me see. Can I follow the brother right now or the individual right now? Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I'll get up with you for sure. I'll look at your page and see what's going on, family. You're not willing to help everybody, just me? I mean, no, I can understand that. But yeah, so all of this was revolving around nationality and nationalization. No, help us all. Right. Nationalizing. What I was getting at with everybody, all of this was just to speak about. It was just to come back around to nationalize, to be recognized as a secure party creditor, as a national state citizen, whatever the case may be. You must pledge your assets. You must pledge everything, which is your social security card, that information. That's what you're doing with the DS11. But you have to pledge everything and then stand as trustee, not just for yourself, but for everybody else. Islam, Jersey. In order for any of these things that people are looking for to happen, I've sought certain things dealing with set-offs and offsets and what's the other word? Offsets, set-offs, settlements, etc. I have not Shit, I ain't set shit off either. You know, I've tried those things. I see other individuals are discharged. Thank you. That's the fucking word I was looking for too. Absolutely. Yes, discharge. I haven't been able to discharge um, according to, but I haven't really tried hard. You know, I threw a couple of things out. It came back. I said, you know what? I really don't have time for this shit. Because again, I'm not trying to get past. I'm not trying to get away from paying my taxes. I'm not trying to get away from investing. I'm just trying to get away from doing things in dishonor. If I don't owe, then I'm not going to pay, and I'm not going to be forced to pay. You know, but as a national citizen, I pay state taxes. I just don't pay federal taxes, unless, again, I consent. Unless I go and I use that social game. Using your social security number is think of it this way: your social security is a minor. It's a child. It's the child in you. Imagine you as a child attempting to work in the workforce, right? No one's taking you serious, right? So no one would give a child the responsibilities that they are not ready for. So when you use your passport, you are no longer operating in commerce as a minor, as a child, right? You are no longer operating as just a mere beneficiary. You're not working just for you anymore. You are now standing upright, active, operating on behalf of everybody, like a business owner would, or like someone in supervision rank would. Right? You have to give everything to the government in order for the government to be able to help you. Yes, the passport is definitely considered an EIN. It's a 9-digit account number. And I've even noticed now that the passports are now a letter followed by 8 numbers, still 9 digits. I have the book and the card. The card always has a letter followed by 8 numbers, still 9 digits. Y'all can't be out here. We cannot be out here participating in these distractions that people are attempting to present us, talking about the government's the bad guy and they're doing this and that. We can't sit here and cry about that. We have to be adults. Do you include the letter? I don't understand. Let me see. All right, so let me go over what maybe this will help you, Sister Marcy. I'll give you a brief. We was everything. Yeah. This ain't even that, but I already know what I'm looking at, so we'll do that right there. We don't accept that in here. I filled out my DS-11 form and I attached an affidavit to it. The affidavit. In the affidavit, I declared my national descent name, and my religion, and my allegiance to the United States, right? In so many words. That's all that I've done. And now I'm expected to go out in the world and continue living as a productive citizen. in private and in public. I'm not supposed to I'm not supposed to be mistreated. I'm not supposed to be treated like a ward of the state or an enemy combatant of the state. Again, all my identification for my person, right, is from this government, is from this federally recognized federal republic. I'm a federal agent or a federally recognized agent. I'm a taxpayer. My tax status is exempt from federal. It's not exempt from the national. I'm definitely supposed to pay into my state, right, or any state that I'm living in. But definitely, I'm tax exempt from any federal taxes. Um, I'm not outside of the federal jurisdiction. Right. It's starting to sound like you coming through. Stop. I'm not a federal agent. I'm a federally recognized agent. So what was I saying? Uh, I can't. Yeah, I'm not outside of the jurisdiction. But I'm not under. I'm not under immediate audit or default audit. The passport, a letter, and a not. Hold on. Déjame ver. Déjame ver. You see if that if I can turn you off, turn you on. See if that helps at all. You can invite Marcy. Turn on the mic in a minute. Okay. I don't know why I did that. I'm gonna drop you down and bring you back up. Okay. No, that's not it. I know what I'm trying to do. Let me see. No, that's not what I'm trying to do there. Oh, accident. Poll. Strong gas playbook. Pause line. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Let me see here. Luis Balderas. Still can't hear you. I'm trying to get on another. Okay. Well, I mean, would that be backgrounds then? No, it's not background. This is crazy. Do. What is that?
I don't know how to work this shit. Enhance. No, that's not it. Nah, that's not it. I apologize, y'all. I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, I don't know about all that. But anyway, I appreciate y'all for coming. I get up with y'all. The sound effect. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that stuff. All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. I appreciate you all for checking in. We got sick. That's what's up. I appreciate the love up there too, as well from y'all. Y'all take care as always. I'm just your brother, man. Come to show you the way. Until next time, stay in honor. Right. Peace and love. It doesn't want me to leave. Likewise to you, sis. Yes, my email is the best place to reach out to me.